She was the best thing about me, and now she's gone. And that, my friend, is exactly why she had to go. My name is CK, and I recently went through a breakup. But it gave me time to reflect, and I feel much better now. This video is about dependence. Not on illegal stuff, but on people and how it harms you in silent ways. As I said, my girlfriend broke up with me. Or I didn't say that, but now you know. And it made I wouldn't say sad. I would more say like reflective. Because I don't break easily. But it did hurt me. It did hurt me. I wrote a couple of songs. I hope I can show you one day, right? It did hurt me a little bit. And it made me think about my life. From the moment I met her to the moment we broke up. And, it made me think about what it means to be in a relationship. So, short story time. The first and second year of high school, so that would be 3 years ago, I was really depressed. Oh, and this might be a sensitive topic to some, so, beware. I was on therapy, meds, antidepressants, the whole thing, the whole pack, right? But that's not the topic. As everything in life, I went through it. It's over now. But I hated therapy so much. I thought it was so damn uncomfortable, okay, that I just straight up told my mom that I was, okay. And she was like, "Are you really okay?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah." And so I just sort of, yeah, yeah, I'm fine my way out of depression, at least clinically. Or that's what I thought, right? Um, I still hadn't fixed my life. And so I threw the rest of the pills down the toilet. I quit therapy. And I told myself that I would fix my life alone, by myself, right? And I just accepted that I wouldn't take any radical decisions anymore. And I thought that was depression, right? I thought depression was the radical thoughts, the bad thoughts. And so those went away. You know what? I'm fine. But actually, depression can be a very discreet thing. It can be present in, I don't know, if you get like sudden lack of motivation. It could be lack of follow through. It could be just, neurological behaviors that you don't even notice, but that affect your life in a negative way. Maybe like bad diet. Like I ate cold food all the time because it was like too much work to heat it up on the microwave. I'm just living a bad life, and I wasn't actively trying to work on myself. And so I just kept walking myself into this corner of bad decisions. And I just got so in my head at some point that life just didn't seem real anymore. And just like the smallest action known to man would be such a big event in my mind, like talking to a stranger, going out, asking for food, like anything. It felt like such a big thing because I was just so used to being inside my head, you know? And so, yeah, I think depression behavior was still a thing even after my, undiagnosis, let's just say. Like, I used to say, I didn't say I had depression. I wouldn't say I had depression, but I would say I was a pretty depressed person, you know? But I would sometimes get this rush of adrenaline, like, just this sudden urge of like stepping out this bubble and just, I need to escape the matrix and live my life, and that's in one of those moments. Um, that's when I got the courage to say to that girl that I liked her and and we ended up being together. And I thought that was the escape. I thought that was the moment I just had figured life out and I was done, with that behavior. And that's where it went wrong. I put the whole weight of my entire life in her, in one single person. And it didn't work like that. I think, it was a brave act. It was a definitely outside of my comfort zone to ask her out, but it didn't work like that. I was still the same person. I was still in the same pit as before. And only this time there was this hot girl with me. And so now it's even worse, right? Because you're thinking, do I even want to get out now? Because I'm a miserable man and I still got a girl. Life suddenly feels awesome, but you're still in the same pit, and you don't realize that you might be dragging her down with you, and that's the whole problem. I did create sort of a dependence with her because she was the small pillar that was just holding this big mansion of all my problems. You know what I mean? So obviously that wouldn't work out. So yeah, it gave me some time to reflect, and the question is, what are you without her? If she's the only good bit about your life, you need to reevaluate yourself. No one can save anyone here. The only person who can save yourself is you. And so she was a really great thing that happened to me between all this like bad stuff. And so she was the only good thing about my life, and that's so wrong because you need to have everything else figured out. I hope that before you get into a relationship, you really think about where you are in life, and don't welcome a new person into your life if you wouldn't even welcome yourself yet. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you next time.